So we don't even really have an intro to this. Should we like say anything? Because we have no idea what we're calling
Well, we
this.
don't. It's hard to
Name.
have like. We could be like, "Hey guys, welcome to our first
podcast.
podcast." We don't have a name yet. That's what we're going to have hopefully by the end of this. You know, like.
I think that's a good idea. Hey guys, welcome to our podcast. We don't have a name for it yet, but we hope to have one by the end of this.
Yes.
That's great. That's just
I know. Plagiarism at its finest. Sam, I'm gonna cut Sam saying that out of the video. And
this was all me.
It was always my idea. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, if we want to discuss names, I have started taking a list. Like I woke up this morning and it was like it might be a good idea to have like an idea of like some names. And then so I wrote down some names, but then I was like, what else can I do? So I downloaded an app that has like an AI, and I asked the AI for some names too. So we can also go over those as well.
I'm intrigued.
That like I mean they're nothing crazy. I mean some of them are like similar to like what I was thinking. But so my first line of thought was like coming up with a name. It should be about what we're doing, right? And what we're doing is we're getting together and we're talking about whatever it is that we have, right? So like ideally we'll like have like a list of things that we want to talk about, and another term for that is talking point. So I was like, okay, well we could call it talking point because everyone's got their points they want to talk about. It's something that has to do with what we're doing. Another idea I have is bro chats. We have, and then I like the idea of kind of incorporating like the moment or like in the moment into our name. So it was like talking talking at the moment. And then I've got the real talk, and then I've got like
Real talk.
Real talk's good, but what about like talking in the moment? Or no, it wasn't like it was like talking at the moment. I think is what I was thinking of.
yeah, that's crazy. It's almost like I just said that like 2 seconds ago.
It's playing off, like I was like playing off of that. Like I was like, what if like you worded that a little bit differently and like we like tried those iterations?
All right.
I-
Then I think the best way to go about this is just kind of say them out loud and see how they sound. So what are these iterations that you're talking about?
Well, like that was one of them. Like I just thought of like that. And I didn't want to lose it. Like I already almost had.
You thought of talking at the moment?
No. Yeah, and you said talking
At the moment. That's what I
So
said.
thing is,
It was something different, dude.
I'm all for
I said no.
adding,
I said
like,
talking
the moment
points,
into
and then
the
I was
name.
talking about how I wanted to say something about how like. Sorry, Xander. What were you saying?
I was gonna say I'm all for adding like something about moment into the name, but currently I'm 100% up for real talk. Like, welcome back to real talk. I feel like it's
I feel like so. This is when I like thought of that. I was like, is that a real thing? That sounds like it's something already.
it probably is because that's a fantastic name.
It looks like it is a it's a song.
You gotta
It
like
looks
type
like
in like real talk podcast.
Okay. Makes sense.
I
Makes
feel like
sense.
there has to be a podcast that has that name
Real
already.
Talk Radio Podcast. This is Real Talk Radio, a podcast filled with honest conversations about everything. Join host. I don't know if I will go into any more than that. There's
Alright.
also Real Talk Christianity Podcast.
All right, so I guess real talk is off the table.
There's also yeah, it's been done a couple times. I don't know if we're like I think like if we want to go for something that's unique to us, then that's not the one.
Definitely.
I think finding something unique is going to be difficult because I feel like so many people make podcasts now. But okay, so Ryan was saying talking. He said talking at the moment, which is
It's broad.
Something-
It's
I think it was
broad. I like
about
that.
what?
It's broad.
talking about the moment.
It's broad. Well, like I want it to be broad because I want it to
Exactly.
be like because what we're doing is we're talking. You know,
Yeah, I like that because
At
we
the
don't
moment.
have like a set conversation topic. We're just kind of talking about whatever we want to whenever we do this. So broad is
Yeah.
better.
All right, so the ones before that, like, so we're a fan of talking at the moment, or it's something along those lines. So I'm gonna,
It might be a little long. I was just throwing it out there. I wasn't like, this is it, you know. But like thinking about it, like, welcome back to talking about the moment or in the moment. You know, it's a little longer. Like I like the fact of real talk because real talk is 2 words. You know, it's short, simple,
bam.
get the point across. Like, you know, I like the fact of like a 2-word.
Welcome back to
You know,
talking at the
53
moment,
is
and at the
short,
moment we're going to be talking about talking at the moment.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Now that's crazy.
All right.
So what else you got?
I was trying to highlight it, but I am epically failing. I don't know. I guess I don't know how to highlight it in this. I thought I did. Anyway, moving on. So we have that one. I'll put my check mark emoji next to it. Can't go wrong with the check mark emoji. And then I have the catch up, because like every time we talk, we're like catching up. So I'm laughing because I'm laughing. I'm reading what I put, and I know like pitching this to you guys is gonna be weird. But so I said that. So I said that in my head. I was like the ketchup, and then I was like, it kind of sounds like ketchup.
That's
And
it.
then-
As soon as you said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, Xander said that we could do like some kind of pun thing. So I was like, mustard to ketchup. It doesn't really make a ton of sense, but like, it's like mustard to ketchup. I don't why mustard and ketchup. I don't know. They just kind of worked,
Have a
but it's like
ketchup?
we like finally got to catch up. I don't know. Anyway, so that was my pun entry there. And then we have keeping a convo. And then another idea that I had was we could do seriously speaking, and then like our thing throughout the like podcast could be like seriously. You know how the people do like figuratively speaking, like we'd be like seriously speaking, like that could be our thing, and it's called like
I-
seriously speaking. Um,
I like
so
catch
that
up.
was you like.
I do really like catch up. Or like
I
welcome.
like ketchup. Like I feel like we could put K and it could be like ketchup.
You like catch up as in so like just call like we just call it catch up.
I was thinking like the weekly catch up or something like that. But if we call it the weekly catch up, then we got to do an
do
episode
it
every
every
week
week,
until we
bro.
die.
Not until we die. We can
Die.
just say this will be the
Bro,
last
like
catch up
Be like 90,
of
be like
all time.
like old timers, bro.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
do, seriously
So
speaking,
do we want the so okay, we'll come back to that.
All right.
So do we want to keep the in like or do you want it to just be catch up?
Welcome back to catch up. Welcome back to the catch up. I feel catch up just sounds better without the.
Okay. Welcome back.
Is it
Welcome
catch?
back to catch up.
Do we want catch or catch? Ketchup? Ketchup? I don't know.
Welcome back to ketchup. And it's just like a ketchup bottle, and it like splats on the screen.
I don't even like ketchup.
Dude, that'd be fire.
I don't
man.
even like ketchup.
Ketchup's so good. How can you not like ketchup?
Ketchup is actually
You're
gas.
definitely like a mustard lover then.
No,
Okay, good.
Xander doesn't do condiments.
you beat me. I was literally about to say I don't do.
relish? Bro,
No.
how do you...
Relish
you
is
really-
relish is delicious, but it's only because it's pickles, dude. Like, how can you mess with pickles?
100%. I love pickles.
Um,
How do you not... Like, what do you put on your hot dog? Like, side note, like, what do you put on your hot dogs?
He doesn't put anything. He eats that.
Nothing.
He eats it
What?
plain.
Yo, that's crazy.
Ryan, sometimes you just don't
Eats
need
those
anything.
glizzies.
Sometimes they're just fine as is,
Plain.
Ryan. Like it's sometimes they're just good.
It's a raw, bro.
No,
It's the fun. That's all I need.
that is all I need. It's fine.
Hey, man, they're good plain, but like condiments, chef's kiss, man. Come on now.
I will say that like if you're eating like a burger and you got like your tomato, your lettuce, your onion, I know that y'all don't really work like that, but I'm telling you, you put that on a
Hey.
burger, you don't need the condiments.
If I
You
had
got-
like light onion, when I put like the onion,
Heavy onion all
When
day.
you have onion, all I taste is onion, bro. I'm like, where's the patty? Where's my pickle? All I can taste is onion. I'm like,
And
this
it's delicious. That's all you need.
On my burgers, all I need is tomato.
is- all you need is onion.
All I need is tomato.
Hey, you want to try my burger? This is an onion.
All right, Sam. What other names do you got?
So other than seriously speaking, that's where I ended my I thought that we could, so I had like seriously speaking where we could do like that's our thing. But I also thought like we could just come up with like random, like you said it was like a 2-word name, you liked how it was 2 words. We could try and come up with like random like two word liner that just kind of pops, or like it doesn't even need to really make sense, but like that's just what we call it. Like I know that there's like a YouTuber that I watch, like he called his podcast like Wet Socks, which is not like, it's not like it says nothing about like their podcast, but
Damn.
it's just like, I don't know, it's something goofy. It's like 2 words. It's quick.
Like, welcome back to chaos. We could just call our podcast chaos because we don't have
Chaos?
anything planned.
I'm not against it.
We could, Sam. Oh my gosh. So we could be like, welcome back to Why So Serious? Because our thing is always like, seriously speaking. Like, why are we so serious all the time? So we're always like saying, seriously speaking, and we're like kind of like contrasting ourselves.
Well, I thought that yeah, I think we can take that in like 2 different ways, because we can like be like seriously speaking as in like straight up like, what are you doing with your life? Or we could take it as like seriously speaking, like what's hotter, like this lamp or
A volcano. Seriously speaking.
I don't know, that lamp's looking kind of bad.
You beat me to it.
Yeah, but like we could do whatever we want
Or
with
it could
that.
just like, it could be like not even like 3, like it could just be like so serious, or like there's a
Yeah.
million names we could come up with.
Welcome back to
Yeah.
Insufferable.
Insufferable.
Xander's like,
Who's insufferable here? You or us?
All of us.
you're just so funny.
I don't know how you guys even stand us every week.
Every week. This is the first week, Xander. They don't know what they're in for.
I'm dead.
It just goes downhill from here.
It just goes.
We're literally just like, people are gonna be so fed up with us just laughing like consistently, like like
Haters gonna hate. Haters
He's
gonna hate. All right, so I downloaded the app Chatster, and apparently I could I just found my new best friend. Because apparently I can. Well, it's gonna cost me. They'll be my best friend, but if I pay $70 a year, they'll be my best friend. So
it's free in this world.
I only have like a limited amount of questions. I don't know where is my last convo.
You
Chat
talking like AI? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. They didn't remember my convo. I'm pissed
Thing is,
because I didn't pay. I haven't paid yet because there's like a free version. But if I wanted to remember my chats, I think I have to upgrade.
Thing is, we don't have to have the name be like super complicated because a lot of podcasts don't really have super complicated names. Like the Joe Rogan Experience. It's literally just his name. So we could just have our podcast be like the Moment Podcast, or I don't know,
It'd be SNS podcast.
SNS.
Cody and Selick.
What is
I don't know.
Cody and Selick?
But it's just SNS. People are like, what's SNS?
It's I don't know. I was trying to think
We
of
could literally like we had like wet socks earlier. We could be like the Sneaky Snake.
Well, I
podcast.
wasn't saying like we would call ourselves that. I'm just saying that someone else did.
No, I know. I'm saying like that's what I'm saying though. Like it's just like we could do anything. Like we'd be like Sneaky Snake podcast.
Sneaky Snake
For a
podcast.
while.
What is that? They were
There's
like,
nothing behind it, but like
they were like, why do they call themselves Sneaky Snakes? Like, what's
everyone
going on?
would be like, what?
It's a mind game. We're getting in their head.
we just have that be like a running joke for like all of our podcasts. Like you guys don't know why we called our podcast the Sneaky Snake Podcast. I'm like, yeah, and like we'll leave it that way. And in reality we literally have no reason, and we just don't tell anybody.
Well, the reason actually was
Wait, no. Don't say it. Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud.
Like an inside joke.
Yes. Oh yeah. A joke.
yeah. All right.
Joke.
Well, so the names that I had asked the AI for, I'm actually so upset about this because I started a conversation with the AI and it was like, what should I call you? And it was like, just call me Open AI because that's what I am. And I was like, well, I don't want to like that's not a good name. So they were like, if you want to give me a nickname, you can. And I was like, I want you to choose. They were like, how about Opie? And I was like, yo, this is awesome. So I was like, all right, great name. And then I was like, can you help us out with some podcast names for our thing? And they're like, boom, here's a list. And I was like, okay, I'll just come back to that when the podcast was around. But I can't go back to it because it's not there anymore. And now Opie is probably not going to remember me. Can you believe this?
Sad.
I'm going to have to start all over again.
Let's just call the podcast Opie.
Opie.
In memoriam of this AI that existed for a couple of minutes.
Well, the AI still exists. It just probably doesn't remember our conversation. Or if it does remember our conversation, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know if it saves like every combo or not.
I definitely want like a keyboard to like be able to play sounds. Like you said, like he's not gonna remember anything. He'd like play a sound like or something like that. Like I just have like a keyboard.
You want a soundboard?
A little soundboard just to play like stupid sounds. It's like so funny. Someone's like trying to talk, be like, nope.
Ryan,
someone says something and then everyone's just silent.
It's like silent. And it's just like, well, that was awkward. I don't know. You can
that
tell,
was
like,
easy.
it's like,
See, Ryan, that's the joy of having a voice changer thing on your laptop.
I don't know. I just think it's funny how like if I just had like a button, like, they'd see me going to press one, but they wouldn't know what it's gonna be. I'd be like,
You just press a button and you just hear like the nuke kill streak from Black Ops 2.
Moab inbound.
We're like, wait, what? And then in post, we'll just have like all of our screens freaking explode.
That's like the end. It's like, well,
Guys, I'm calling in a nuke. No.
what?
Welcome back to the Calling in a Nuke podcast.
Calling in a nuke podcast. I feel like that sounds like we want to nuke somebody. It's like
At the end of every podcast, we choose someone to nuke.
all right. So based on your ratings of the week, who is worthy of the nuke?
I vote that we nuke the bird from Aladdin.
Where would we send that to? Just at a TV?
I will find a way, Sam.
Find a way. Okay. So
We could be at the time podcast.
at the time. So instead of
In the moment, it's at the time.
moment, in the moment, it's at the
Well, we can like
We can have a bunch of channels
something
that all mean the same thing, but we just like say it differently. We got in the moment, at the time,
at that second.
for, or like just at that second, currently. Like we just
We just call one currently.
In the currently.
we just call the podcast currently, and it's
No,
just
it could
like
be like in the currently.
in the currently.
welcome back to currently.
English. Yeah.
Welcome back to Forgetting English. Hola.
Welcome
Hola.
back to Straight Laughter.
Me amo. I have been practicing my Spanish a little bit.
I've been out.
I'm not like I'm so nervous to actually speak it.
Me as well. I've been
I
out.
want to learn
Same.
as well. Like how
Listen,
cool would that be? Walk in, be like, "Hola, Sam," and like, you know, like
no, I think like just being able to know like multiple languages is like that's badass.
Yeah.
like imagine going to like China or anywhere and just be like speaking fluently, and everyone's like,
Speaking.
Oh, because
Speaking
that would
fluent
be some people's
Spanish.
reaction because they don't expect you to.
"No," you'd be like, no."
They expect like stupid American.
Yeah.
Mhm. If you
Like,
could
what
speak
is-
Spanish, you could walk into any Mexican restaurant and then order your food in Spanish, and they might even like give you a discount or something.
They might not even know what you're saying. But you know what's another thing that was crazy? So this guy actually does that. That's his channel. He speaks fluent Korean,
I've seen that. I think I've seen one of the
Chinese or
videos.
and he's like American, and he just like records himself doing it. Like he'll like act all dumb, and then he'll be like talk fluently, and they're like, and the people are like, "What? You're so, like, it's so good. Like you speak that so well," and like they're just like blown away. They're like,
Yeah.
it's fun.
All right. Bringing it back on track here. So we have some ideas that we've kind of come up with on the fly is chaos, insufferable, at the time, currently. um, so those are some that we came up with just now, and then we have the few that I had thought about, which we have the talking at the moment, catch up, and seriously speaking. So, of those options, which ones do you think we can cross off the list? We're not so fond of.
Currently speaking.
Currently speaking. All
Yeah.
right. So get rid of. All right. So what about do we still like at the time? Is at the time still?
Keep it for
Welcome
now.
back to
Keep it for
Africa.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Do we want to keep insufferable? Insufferable sounds like a good name for the podcast.
Welcome back to
or-
Insufferable. I think that's hilarious.
It
Okay.
sounds good. But
All right, and then chaos. What do we think? No.
I'm
Welcome back.
chaos. It just sounds like we're like beating something up, or like we're like
welcome back to Chaos, where we beat someone up outside of a 7-Eleven.
we're just like yeah, right. Like it's just like crazy stuff. I feel like
Welcome
we have
back to Welcome back to chaos. Today we're having the podcast where we rob a bank.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for next episode where we
Next episode, we're in
invade the
jail.
Pentagon.
Hey guys,
That'd be pretty impressive if we could continue to have our podcast even though we're in jail. Like that doesn't phase us. Like podcast still goes on.
Hey guys, welcome to this episode where we're in jail. Next episode, we're gonna be breaking out and like leaving the country.
And we're gonna turn into like Breaking Bad series, bro.
Hey guys, welcome to this episode. Today we're gonna be cooking.
Xavier's actually a chemist.
hmm
Oh yeah, I feel like we should have mentioned him way sooner that he's going to be a part of this.
Yeah, it's not just the three of us.
It's 4 of us. I held up 5 fingers. 4. Yes, 4.
What?
Nope. Ryan was right with the fingers at some point. There you go. Nope.
Nah.
Yes, there you go. But I had the vibe up.
See,
Anyway.
we're definitely gonna have guests on at some point. I don't know who our first guest would be, but we're going to have other people on.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could have like Nate on. We could have like Sarah
Nate on the
on.
podcast.
We could have our parents on. How date? That'd be funny.
Our parents on the. I don't know if mom or dad would want to
Yeah.
go on the podcast.
would-
They would have to watch it and be like,
No.
"Mm."
They would just be like, no.
Yeah, we record for like an hour and 21 minutes with them on. We're like, okay, how much of this are we gonna cut? An hour and 29 minutes?
We cut out.
Like,
We literally say, "Welcome our podcast. This is our parents." And then it's like it cuts like all the way through the entire podcast, and it's just like at the end, it's like
All right, our parents are gonna leave now.
they're gonna leave. And like it was like literally like 20 seconds of like having them there,
yeah,
and then
because
they just get up and leave.
for the entire podcast, we're just gonna be getting roasted by them about like our childhoods. Like, I remember when he did this stupid thing. I'm cutting that out. So
What?
Because they're saying if they say anything bad, he's just gonna cut it out.
Okay.
Straight.
So
straight.
insufferable. Let's keep that for now. Like chaos. I'm fine with
Chaos.
tossing chaos.
Fine with tossing chaos. Insufferable is still good. And at the
What about
time, still good. So going back to that, so the catch up. Or not the catch up, just catch up.
Catch
Welcome
up.
back to catch up.
I like catch up. Like
Okay.
it's casual.
Catch-
It's broad. And
Catch.
it
Catch or catch.
Catch. Well, catch
think
up.
I think.
Well, if it's catch, it sounds like we're just saying welcome back to catch up. You know,
that's like that could be our thing.
I don't know. Well, like, what do you say? Well, like, if you were gonna say it, like, hey, we should. I mean, like, I feel like more people say we should catch up sometime, not hey, we should catch up sometime.
catch
you know?
up. It's so they literally say catch up. We should catch up sometime.
Yeah, well, I've got a bottle with me in the fridge.
We'd be like, well,
I got one in my
actually,
car right now, man.
we pull it up. We're like, well, actually, we have it right under the table in our mini fridge.
We should
Just like taking shots of like ketchup throughout the thing.
Oh,
Oh, that's some good stuff. And it'd be like, damn,
that's some good shit.
that is some strong ketchup, man.
I need a little more.
dude,
So
you have to like let it clean. You'd be like, oh, like
All right.
so catch
So do you
up
think
and
that it should
insufferable
be
so far.
Catch up? Like catch up. Like not catch up, catch up.
Catch up.
Catch up,
Because
not catch.
no matter how we say it, we're going to inadvertently say catch up.
well, I'm like thinking of like thumbnails, like like ketchup, and like it's catch, and then ups like right next to like smashed up, like pink and yellow. I don't know.
Did Ryan
Just
just
like
volunteer to make the thumbnails for the podcast?
I did not.
I'm more curious about what he means by pink and yellow.
Like the name catch is in pink, and then like the up was in yellow. I don't know. I just pictured it in my mind. I was like, wow. So that kind of
If you got the image, it sounds like you want to make it.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
think Ryan's saying he wants to.
I just volunteered.
all right. So then we have seriously speaking. How do we feel about that? Do we want to go with that, or do you think that is?
I like that as maybe not like our title, but like when we're talking in our podcast, that could be like one of our things, or we put that down so we remember to like come up with like our like catchphrase thing that we say all the time. And like we don't even have to like come up with it. If it just like happens a lot, that can become like our thing.
I
you know,
kind of
like,
Well,
throughout-
yeah, I feel
I
like that's
agree.
usually how it goes. Like you just
Yeah.
kind of like say things because like the
Develop
channel
one.
that I watch like pitch meetings, and like the things that are now like his staple like quotes weren't like he didn't try and make them that. That's just like what they were, and people were like, "Hey, you didn't say it. Like, why didn't you say the thing? You got to say the thing." So like we could just kind of be like, this keeps popping up a lot in our convos. It should be our catchphrase. I'm fine with it not being the name and it just being like it could just be like a thing like that we do.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. And then talking at the moment. Do you think that talking on the moment's too similar to in the moment, and you want to do talking at the time instead of talking at the moment? Or do you want to do talking at the moment? I feel like they're, like you said, like they mean kind of the same thing. So which one do we like the sound of more? Like, what do we want to go with? Do we want to be like similar to in the moment, or do we want it to be not exactly the?
I feel like
Well-
long term, if we called our podcast at the moment, you'd be like, okay, which one is the one that they upload just normal videos on? Is it at the moment or in the moment? Like they're so similar.
Guess you're gonna have to find out.
We subscribe to both.
Okay,
you'll
so
find
you're
out.
saying we should do. So we have like our channel's like in the moment, and then our podcast is at the time. You
At
think
the-
that makes more sense?
At the time
than
is
at
a
the moment.
at the time is similar while also being a big enough differentiation that you can easily tell which one's which. So I think at the time is much better.
All right, fair enough. All right, so we're willing to cut talking at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like it's too long. Like you like in the moment is like short and sweet because it's like two small words and then a big one. Whereas if it's like talking at the moment, it's like welcome back to talking at the moment. I don't know, it's just like a really long. It's not like welcome back to catch up. You know, like it's just not like
Yeah.
short. If you're like welcome back to the moment, it's not really that long.
Okay, and then
There are other
all right.
podcasts.
So then,
Or
Sorry.
there's other podcasts, like Markiplier has a podcast called Distractable. And it is one word. And it's a word that I don't even know if it's a real word. You just called the podcast that because it's like eye-catching. So what if we named our podcast something that just was not a real word? Real word. So I don't have any examples, but the example that I brought up with Sam a while ago was it's not one word, but it's a pun. Chuckle sandwich, as in like knuckle sandwich, and that podcast is a comedy podcast. But for us, it's not really going to be centered on anything. It's just kind of whatever this week is going to be.
It's definitely gonna be like slightly like comedy because we're always laughing. Like we're always cracking jokes.
Of course, we're always going to find a way to make it funny.
I
Like,
mean,
we can call the podcast Quads Good. Like that's eye catching.
Quad Squad, or you just want Quad's good.
I think
That's
Quad.
gonna be a joke on me, bro. I'm gonna get roasted.
See,
Boom, roasted.
roasted. Let's call it roasted. No, I'm kidding. That's a terrible name. I'm
Can't the heat,
Quads Good.
the heat,
I'm
the kitchen.
Hmm?
Sorry, I'm just like throwing names out. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I'm fine with us cutting each other off. Did you just cut me off, Sam?
Did you just cut me off?
I would never say anything.
All
You just
right.
cut me off.
You told me it was fine.
See, Ryan, you just cut me off again. All right.
Dude, I
Well,
did not cut you off, bro. I swear.
I would never cut anyone off.
see, you guys are just no. Like, all right.
I want something like that word that like describes like something. Like we could just be like our name could be like extracting or something. I don't know.
Extracting knowledge.
We could just be like knowledge, but like a lot of like knolls. I don't know.
A lot of
Trollololololunch.
a lot of knowledge.
A lot of knolls, man. Gotta have because you know it's like
no knowledge.
Welcome back to, or we could just have it be like like a lot of like welcome back to the knowledge podcast.
it's just welcome back to knowledge podcast. But
We
like,
just
in
say
the-
knowledge
in
for the entire
wording,
duration. Welcome
It's
back
like
to
lot
knowledge.
We take turns, like someone's like, oh. Just go around in circles.
It would be
I want
great.
that sound effect though. Oh, sound effect.
Welcome back to oh.
Ryan's fiending for that soundboard.
Dude, it would be so fun. It wouldn't be you guys. I would just do it and start dying laughing.
That's one
I
of
think
the
it's
best
funny.
TikTok
I
sounds
think it's
ever.
really fun.
It's funny. Oh, you see, Sam just did it.
So I asked it for some words that sound like words but aren't, and then it gave me words that are words.
Like what?
Let's do like a combination word of some of the words that you got there.
Okay, I
Could be
now that
eggplant.
I'm looking at these responses, I feel like what I asked, it answered, but like it wasn't what I wanted.
Why don't
Because
you
I was like, what are
answer-
some words that sound like words but aren't, right? And like one of the things is onomatopoeia, right? And so I thought that it was saying that onomatopoeia is a word that sounds like a word but isn't. But that's not what it's saying. It's saying that onomatopoeia is a word that sounds like words but isn't.
Why didn't you just ask it for more names for a podcast?
Well, I can, but I wanted to try and
He was
I
putting
was
a
trying
spin on
to
it.
do what Xander was doing. Like at the moment, like Xander wanted, you know,
Well, we
to
can just
like.
take all those
So
names.
anyway,
You can screenshot that or look at it, and then you're like, say like one name up here and like a name down here. You take two of those words, and you're like, those would smash together perfectly. You know, it's just like to throw names and words to get our brains like pumping with ideas.
I'm honestly, I'm 90% down for quads good.
okay, I asked because I was not specific enough last time. I asked it. I said, "Can you make a list of fake words?" And it said, "Sure. Here are some. We've got flurp, snorble, wibbly, blorpy, sklurp, snazzle, drazzle, splooch, glarpy, squidge, gloopify, frazzleberry, zibberzoo, quibbly, grunkle, blibbler, frimble, sklunk,
Sam, I'm
snuckle,
not gonna lie, Sam, I'm gonna cut
and
you off.
zoodle.
Those all sound like Harry Potter spells.
Well, I guess you know how she came up with those spells, huh?
Yeah, right.
Wrote a bunch of
Zooble! Quibbly!
degree. Yeah. Anyway,
I can,
that's what it gave me. So, do you want me to look? Do you want me to ask it some podcast names? I feel like if we just keep coming up with potential names, we're never gonna narrow it down.
because
All right.
we came to in the moment because like, yep, that's perfect, and it literally describes the channel. But the thing with the podcast, I mean, in a way, a channel, but the name of the podcast doesn't really need to specify what we're talking about. Or like
Yeah.
what our goal is. It could literally be just some name that means nothing, like distractible.
Right. That's why I looked up fake words.
I know, but none of those sound good.
Are you kidding me? Flurp really rolls off the tongue. Welcome back to Flurp.
Or we're gonna be
Zibberzoo. Welcome back to Zibberzoo.
We could be or
what?
Derpish. Welcome back to Derpish, or welcome back to Derp, or Derpy.
Derp.
Welcome back to Derpy, bro.
If we
Derpish.
called the podcast Flurp, we could just incorporate Flurp into our sentences like Smurf.
Dude, that's totally wicked, Flurp.
What? No, that's not. That's not how that works.
I feel like Ryan got.
You don't just.
I feel like he got it confused with like Pig Latin. Like,
Yeah.
Ryan, don't be flirping with us, bro.
Yeah. You would say like. It seems like you like said what you were gonna say. You were like, "Oh wait, I forgot to say flirt." Flirt.
No, I was, I was just gonna say at the end of it, like that's totally flipping awesome.
Hmm. That's
There it is.
that's a good usage. So we're discounting Flurp.
We have.
Yeah, I like that word though. That word's kind of cool. But like, what about dirt?
No,
I
no.
like dirt, man.
We're not.
Xander
calling
refuses to.
we are
give
not.
her-
We are not
me
calling
too.
our podcast derp.
Be like, dude, you look so derpish right now.
It's. I agree with Xander. I feel like it sets like a tone for what our podcast is. and I don't want to like
Welcome back
narrow us
to
like,
the Everything Podcast.
welcome back to
Everything,
Yeah.
bruh.
this is the podcast where we talk about everything. Yes, including you.
Including
viewer.
you. Yes, we know who you are.
Steven, we're talking to you. Whoever,
talk about-
whoever.
It should be anything, because everything kind of seems like everything that's like right now, but anything could be like future, past tense.
I don't think everything implies like when.
Tell me everything. Tell me anything. I feel like tell me. I don't know why, but I feel like saying "tell me everything" is more specific than "tell me anything."
Yes, it is. Dude, I'm telling you. But
Because it's like "tell me everything." It's like okay, about what, right? Like, tell me anything. It could be anything. I'll be like, all right, flirp is a new word, and I'm making it happen. Okay. Cool.
Flirp is a new word, and it's the worst slur ever existed, and we are going to manifest it into existence by saying it's the worst slur ever. We want people to get offended by the word flirp. Like, you've just been called flirp. That is like the N-word times 100.
It's like the GTA wasted. You've been called flirp.
Like, we're going to call people flirp, and they're going to like get real emotional. Like, I've just been called
They just
flirp.
have to go see a
What does it
therapist,
mean? It's bad. That's what it means.
I
They
don't
have
know,
to
but
be a
it's not good.
They just got getting called therapist. They're like, at the therapist, like, what happened?
What did you
I
call?
was, I was called a flirt. The therapist is like, how can you say that?
How could you say that in my office?
They're children.
You need to leave.
Get out! Imagine you walk into your therapist and you just like, I really am not feeling so great, doc. I've been called a flirp. What did you say? Get out! Get out!
See,
Jeez.
we need to keep this thing going. You have been
Anyway,
called a flirp.
We'll bring it up later. You know, write it down in the notes, and we'll say they'd be like, oh, they are making it work.
Sam's literally doing that. I love it so much.
Sam, yeah,
I've got my
I have
notes.
my notepad on me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Anything
our
podcast. Anything,
our-
everything. Anything and everything podcast.
anything and everything.
I don't. There are some times when I feel like we might be doing something so simplistic, like we could do like a watch party night where we just like put up a timer and so people can watch a movie with us as we talk about it. Like that's
like we what's that called? Riff. Like we riff a movie, like or like just like
as
it because that's like a reaction video basically.
except we're not reacting to it. We'll just put up a timer and be like, all right, we're hitting play in 3, 2, 1. And then the timer will show exactly where in the movie we are. So people that are watching can like
Oh, so you're saying that if someone wanted to be like, I'm watching a movie with the boys,
Yeah.
and then they can't.
Also, The Boys is taken. That's the name of a podcast already, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I wasn't necessarily saying that was a podcast.
I know,
It's
but
just
I
saying
like
that we are in fact boys. Well, we're men actually.
the
We're
men. The men
We're
podcast.
dudes, bro.
the men podcast.
We're actually dudes. Come on now,
We
bro.
actually dudes? No, I'm a man.
Yeah, if we have any like women guests or like you are an honorary man for today. For the duration of
Welcome
this.
to the-
Definitely should be dude. Be like,
Welcome
Dude.
back to Dude.
bro.
Welcome back to dudes.
Wait, I got one.
Just-
I got one. I got
you-
one. This is like the same aha moment that I got within the moment. The wave.
The wave. Riding the wave.
Welcome back to the wave.
The wave.
I love that. That's
I do like that. I do like that. The wave.
Because it doesn't mean anything. But it could mean everything.
dude, that was great. That was fire what you said right there.
Yeah.
Clip that.
The birth of our podcast.
I would send that to Haas if I could.
Let's. I want to keep thinking of things because we still could think of something better, but I think that's like the front runner in my personal opinion. The Wave. We all grew up in Jersey, so like the Wave has, like, it's something that we said.
Xander says that like he was out at the beach every day.
Yeah, bro.
I wasn't at the beach every day, but I know what. But I know what the
I
wave.
know what waves are.
Thing is, like, nobody outside. Does anybody say the Wave outside of New Jersey?
Probably. I don't know.
You could say anything like beach related, like the rip current, the rip tide, the tide. We could be like the tide too.
The Tide.
Wax.
I feel like
Come and go.
the Wave is a much more like mellow name. I think.
Yeah, I do like.
It's like chill because it's like yeah.
Welcome
it's the
back
wave.
to episode 35 of the Wave.
That's the wave.
Welcome back to the wave.
This is not the Wave. That is the Wave.
Yo, that's the wave, bro. No, that's not the wave.
That is not the Wave. We use it as like an acronym.
Okay,
I
so
Write that down, Sam.
let's keep.
it's already written down, so I'm gonna circle it. So which ones do we want to drop off then?
All right. What else do we have?
Were we serious about knowledge? Was that like a serious one, or is
No.
that a joke?
No, get rid of that.
All right.
You're all right with getting rid of that, Ryan?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
I mean, like if we were serious to be like, welcome back to knowledge. Like
That joke would get really old so quick.
it would get so old. So you say it so much, and you'd be like, ugh, why would we choose?
Here's the thing about old jokes, though, is that some jokes get old really quick, but people still do them anyway. My case in point is that question that they always ask everyone on that one podcast that you watch. You think it's the funniest thing ever?
It is the funniest thing ever, Sam.
It's not.
And
The answer is it's not.
see, Sam, it's okay
it's
to
not.
it's okay to be wrong.
And if you had to ask that,
we all
every
have
single
differing opinions
time,
on this podcast,
I feel like I would
so
be like, we're
you
asking
being
this
wrong is
question
perfectly
again.
fine. But like, it
is perfectly fine for me to be wrong, but in this case,
Yeah.
I am not.
except
He's
you're
talking
wrong
English,
and it's funny.
I am talking to my microphone because my mic's right here, but in this case, I am.
Sophisticated.
It makes
My-
me look like I am correct because I am.
My
Yo, I
microphone's
can make
right
it
here,
look
but
like
I have
I
a
have
fake
a
one right here.
Microphone.
It
It look like I have a mic.
does look like you have a mic set up.
What is that? What is that?
It's a speaker, isn't it?
The speaker.
Oh,
But it does look like
It looks like Ryan's like a legitimate podcaster now. He's got his podcast mic.
Yeah.
Freaking fake. I'm really holding it at the right height. Yeah, guys, I really recommend that.
Yeah, this is actually the
The JBL audio mic. The audio's crazy on this thing, guys. You gotta try it.
yeah. The input
right.
is 0.
Try to like keep it.
That's up to you. I feel like you might get tired of holding it, but boom mic.
There's a boom mic.
You just like see my arm the whole time.
The production value on that. Your arm will get so tired just holding it
Dude,
there, but
I
like,
have,
you just have it like
split arms.
you just have it dangling like it looks like you have
There's
like
like a rope on the ceiling. Just like,
That should be our. Wait,
one time
Sam.
it just fucking the rope breaks. Falls on your hand.
Sam, that should be the production value of the next Dawn Fraud Arctic episode that we do. Where we're
we
like,
gotta have a boom mic.
no, we don't have to have a boom mic. Like, we do everything, but it's like people. So instead of a boom, we literally just have like someone holding up a person doing this.
No.
That would be impressive because that takes some
was very
strength.
impressive. The
But
course,
that would that is just like the point of such absurdity that it's like
bro, seriously.
I love it, but like the absurdity of that is just like insane levels,
But,
which
like,
I love.
If we
But
ever show
I
that,
don't know if everyone else would like that.
What if we got an actual boom mic though, and like we're filming it, and then, like it hits his face or something? Like we do like a filming Dawn Fraud, like it's there, and then like someone like trips, and like they pan to the person tripping and just smacking Dawn Fraud in the face, like with the mic, and he's like,
and you just hear the.
But trying to get the audio.
yeah,
And then Don Fraud gets knocked out. So
There
like
was a snake.
he gets knocked out,
Like-
and like
he,
the
like-
boom is a plot element.
There
He
could be
like
a
he like
ton of-
stumbles down and he like turns around. He's like, that wasn't so bad. Like, and then like as he's like, that wasn't so, and just like gets knocked in the face by the boom.
And you hear the ringing, but the ringing is actually like the audio on the mic ringing. It's not like his head or anything.
Dude, I've actually had that happen to me before. I was filling up a tire at work, like a little small dolly tire. And I was like, it's gonna be fine. Filling it up. I was like, just like had it on there for like literally like 3 seconds, and all I hear and just they exploded. Oh my gosh, it was like I got flashbang. Everyone that was like the service advisors and whatnot came out to the service drive. They were like, "Oh my gosh, it sounded like a gunshot." I was like flashbang, my ears are ringing. I could like barely see. I was like, "What the heck?" Everyone's looking at me like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "What happened?" Crazy. It literally is exactly how it was in the video games.
That is the wave.
I was like, I'm not giving it to him. I'm not giving him.
The silence was loud. Welcome back to the Silence is Loud podcast.
Anyway,
He was like, cool. All right.
anyway, so we have the. So do we want to get rid of Insufferable, or do we still think that that one's got some potential?
We'll probably end up getting rid of it.
You wouldn't enjoy being on the podcast. Like, up against, would you rather click on the Wave podcast or Insufferable?
The people would rather click on the wave.
Against right now. Like, the Wave's pretty fire, you know? But then, like, welcome back to Insufferable. Are we like, welcome back to Insufferable?
Yeah, I think we should toss Insufferable now that you put it like that.
All right. Okay. How about At the Time?
Compared to the wave,
At the time, welcome back to the Wave.
compared to the wave, At the Time just sounds so bland now.
Right?
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. This is progress.
Would you call it Xavier? What do you think? Die, potato.
All right. So in that case, it looks like it's between Catch Up and the Wave.
Catch Up sounds bland as well.
I think
All
Xavier was a blinded eye
Hmm?
because he came up with the Wave.
It's like I created
be
it with the Wave, and now that's gonna be it.
it.
To be
He's like,
fair, I
at
came
the
up with
moment.
In the Moment as well, and I was like, that's the one. Like, I was talking with, or fun fact, this is the actual story behind, like, how I got the name. I was talking with my dad about potential names for the channel because we were stuck on what to call ourselves for, like, what the hell is this?
I don't know. He did it, so I did it.
We're just messing around while you're talking.
But my dad and I were talking about names for the podcast because we were stuck on that for like a week or two. And I said, I want the name to be just something that doesn't really bind us to anything. Like, it could be whatever we feel like doing whenever we feel like doing it. And I don't remember quite what my dad said, but he said something like, he said some derivative of In the Moment. So it's something along the lines of At the Time, or like just messing around, or like something along In the Moment lines. And I thought In the Moment just sounds like the name of a professional YouTube channel.
We are for sure
Very
professionals.
professional. Someone put
Yeah.
our subscriber count up.
Yeah, we're so professional. We've been out of doing like group videos together for like almost 2 years.
It's not my fault you guys moved away.
I mean, it's not my fault you guys didn't come with.
He's got a point there.
Does have a point there. You know, I mean, he does.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We will be more available once we're done with school. You know.
Yeah, we gotta like all get a
You're-
place and do the podcast in person.
Yeah,
What-
you're done.
What was that?
You already finished.
What was that? Right?
I was just saying, like, you know, like you're throwing me under the bus. Like I haven't finished school, but like Sam's the only one in school, like you.
Yeah, I got like another year and a half. I'm technically just starting my junior year, so 2 years. But I'm doing summer quarters, so little under a year and a half.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
But
And then, I mean, realistically, if only one of us is in school, then it's less of an issue. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see where that takes us when we get there. But yeah, reunited eventually, and then, lots of things from there. I don't know. I've got like so many ideas for things that I want to do, but I don't know. I've been so lazy with it because it's like some of my ideas. I'm like, oh, but I'm gonna need props for this, and I'll probably have to use like a green screen. And then like I talk myself out of doing them. Like I've got so many things that like I'm like, oh, that would be something interesting to do. But I don't want to. I don't want to like actually go through the effort of having to make it. You know, like I have the idea, but then it's like,
that's
what?
why I'm glad that we're going to be doing something like this. No, I cut you off 1 second. But
No, you're fine.
if we're doing a podcast like this, or even just talking for an hour, hour and a half every week, I feel like it'll keep us on track. Because we'll be talking about our projects, and once you tell us, you can't stop it now. Now you got to finish it.
No turning back.
Mhm.
Sure.
What were you gonna say, Ryan? Or you just
Oh yeah, so this idea came in my head, and I was like, dude, what if like you say you want to do like green screen and whatnot, and maybe just kind of like rearrange the room. That wall behind you is perfect to put like one all the way down, and then you have somewhere to put like the green screen at,
Yeah.
and we could just have it up. Like we move all those like things, put the green screen up, and then like you could put the camera as far back or close as you wanted in theory.
Yeah, I've already thought about that. We need like a better lighting setup for like doing green screen stuff because like from the videos that I watched, like you need to have lighting to like light up like your green screen, and you need lighting for yourself to try and get like the good lighting stuff. Xander knows all these
Get all
things.
the lights.
You beat me
We'll get
to
all
it. 3-point lighting.
How many
Yeah.
lights do we need, Xander? Because we'll get all of them.
You
How
just
many
said
how many lights are in 3-point lighting?
knowledge.
And they're not all the same type of light. You need one light that just gets the person or like from kind of the front, and then you need a fill light which basically just fills in all the background behind so that it's even texture. And I forgot what the third light is called, but if I remember correctly,
point light.
point light?
Does that sounds like something?
It sounds like something, but I should know this. I really should know it, but the third one I think just eliminates shadow, if I remember correctly. I could be
Maybe.
wrong.
That might be the fill light. I don't know.
The fill light might be doing that as well.
Well, it depends on where you're talking about the shadow at, but I don't know if that's really important right now.
Backlight, that's the one. Backlight,
Backlight.
because the backlight eliminates so you got the front light, which I forgot, the key light, the backlight, and the fill light. That's the 3 lights.
He does know it.
Yep.
'Cause,
It just took a moment.
Yeah.
And depending on how strong the backlight is, it could give like an angelic effect to the person because you'll have like a lighting effect on the like behind them. But you can, if you have all lights almost equal, it'll look like you're just standing like pre-green screened into a place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have a ring light which is basically just a key light, which would be in front of me, but I don't have it set up right now.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like I want to like there's so many things that I want to do, like serious and non-serious and like all kinds of stuff. But a lot of the projects I just kind of like talk myself out of because I'm like, oh, but that's gonna be a lot of work, and then like I don't do it because I like ugh, you don't
Here's
want to actually go through that. Like for the longest time, I wanted to do these. Like I wanted to do like these make my own kind of like salve thing. And I've been like looking into it for a while, like looking at like different like types of salves that people have made and stuff, and um like recipes for it and like how you do it and all this stuff. And I've been like thinking about like I got all this stuff for it, but I never actually went through with like making anything because I like psyched myself out. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like difficult. Like it's like you don't want to actually like um you don't want to go through the hassle of it. But this week I finally did. And I made like a thing. Um and you know that feels great. I haven't done I've barely done it. Like I've been on break for like a week. Like half a week. I have nothing to do and it's amazing because I have nothing to do. And like when like literally like every second you're like you're like, oh, I'm doing nothing right now and I should be doing something because I have stuff to get done. Like when I'm in school, like I always have homework assignments that I could be doing, and then I like feel bad because I'm not doing them. Right now I don't have that, and it's great. So it's like I could like I'm staying up late, what am I doing? But it doesn't matter because I don't have anything to do the next day. Like nothing needs to get done the next day, which like is a great feeling.
it is.
But like the problem is like with that mentality, I don't get much done.
I have that exact same mentality because when I finished my last quarter, I had 8 days of break before I had to come back here, and before that the break started, I told myself I am not going to crash and be an irresponsible child for 8 days. And I always ended up going to bed at like 5 p.m. or later, waking up way in the PMs, and just eating
You mean
crap.
AM?
PMs. Wake
5 p.m. is early. It's like an early night. Like it's not even dark.
or I
yet
meant
at
like
5
waking
p.m.
up at like way in the PMs. But
You were waking up at
Waking up
5
at
and
5
5 at night?
afternoon?
because I was going to bed at like 8 or 9 a.m.
You went full on nocturnal.
Dude, I had nothing going on. So, and I went 10 weeks
But
of
like why? But like why
During
would
the
you?
day.
Why would you just do the opposite? Like
because I
like
couldn't for 10 weeks and now I could. And if I had 8 days to be irresponsible for before going back to 10 weeks of adhering to a very strict schedule, I was going to go all out, but I told myself I was not going to do that. I did anyway.
yeah.
But now I'm
I
back
mean,
to waking up really early again, so I had my fun.
Well, what I was gonna say is like they say work yourself. So like say you have like two jobs. All right, now you're really busy. So now okay, you've used up a lot of your time. Well, they say you don't want to like try and manage any of your time until like you're so busy that you have to, because that's where like the real skills come in, because then you realize like me, I have so much time now than what I did having at school. Like I had like 3 hours at max, and I had to stay till 11 if I wanted to have any time to myself. Now I have the whole morning that I'd be at school. I'm just sitting in my apartment, and I just normally sleep through it. And I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I staying up so late and wasting all this time when I could just get up? But
yeah.
it's true. You're more productive when you're doing stuff.
I have a very
Yeah.
bad problem with going to bed early. And the reason is because when I'm awake and it's really late and I'm doing something, I think I could just be doing stuff now. Why should I like end the night and then do it in the morning if I can do it right now?
Well, it depends on what it is, you know? Like if it's like I could be playing more video games now. That's not something you need to stay up to do. You could do that tomorrow.
That's correct.
You know?
And video games are
But
very
Watching
addictive.
TV.
yeah, but the thing is like where I agree with you on that, like with video games, I mean, you could go to bed, wake up, keep a reasonable sleep schedule, you know, that I don't think it's necessarily justified for the whole I can do it now. But like if you're like you need to get like an essay done for school or something,
You have to
and
do that
like
now. That's the difference.
that's yeah, like instead of being like the problem is that it's like yeah, I should do that right now, but I don't wanna.
Exactly.
It's you have to fight that kind of happy that's
Discipline.
like yeah, it's all about the discipline. Like waking up this morning, like I set an alarm for like basically 10, and I like waking up to an alarm after not having an alarm waking me up for like the past like 4 days. It was like oh, and it's not even like it was that early. Like it was literally like 10 o'clock, and I was like oh.
Well, like, see, like the thing is like if you get the jump start, like unlike everybody else right now, on like getting out of bed at like 7 in the morning, like you're up and out, and like everyone else is getting up at 12, your day is done at like 10. If you did all your exercises, and all that, say you did some editing and whatnot, now it's 12, and those people are just getting up. Those 5 hours and whatnot, or whatever. But you know what was crazy that I heard yesterday, and this like sent me, and they were like, okay, so how does a new day start? Does it start dark,
Oh, I saw this video.
or does it start in the light? And it starts in the dark. And I was like, whoa, like that's crazy. I didn't think about it like that. So like one, you could like get up and like do like the work while it's still dark out, whatnot. But it was like, why can't you just like go about things, new relations in like a dark manner? I don't know if I'm wording that correctly.
You
but-
didn't quite. You made it sound like it's saying be evil, but like what he said was like, why can't you use your dark side to to kind of get things started? Like in business, like a lot of people say, like you kind of have to be a little ruthless, and I think that's kind of what he's getting at. Like, why is it wrong to be a little ruthless in business to get to money? And like when you have money, then you can be like you
Abundant.
can use you can use your good side or whatever.
In business,
I think that's what he was trying to say with it. But yeah, like it's very true. Like I don't know.
in business.
I don't know if
and
that necessarily really. Sorry.
no, no, you can finish your statement. I don't want you to forget.
I don't know if necessarily that tied into what we were just talking about. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I do
Sleep
like I
schedule.
do agree with this. Yeah, I do agree with that statement that you know there's two sides to you, and I feel like you should use them and not fear it. But as long as it's for like
Yeah, you're
and
not
within
like,
reason, like, and I don't mean go out and be a dictator or something. But yeah.
If you're
Anyways,
in business
he's
or
a
any type of like leadership role, you need to be a little bit ruthless.
yeah.
Because I'm trying to get into film. I'm trying to direct, produce, write. And when you're in one of those leadership roles, you need to be able to like let people go.
Yeah.
And because going into a project, you may not know if someone is 100% capable, but when you're dealing with something that takes a lot of planning in advance, you need to be 100% sure about everyone that you have on. So there are some instances that I've heard of with a lot of films nowadays where they have someone on the project for a couple months, nearly a year, however long, and then they'll fire that person and hire someone else and completely change the direction of the film. And it always results in some massively different project, and depending on how many changes have been made, the original writer will get credited as like story by, and then the next page will be like written by this person. But I know that's a massive leap from the topic, but it's just film brain thought of
No,
that.
yeah, no, I agree with you, and I kind of like I've kind of been slowly kind of coming to that realization because I like to like I don't want to be like the kind of person that's just like beats people up. I want to be more of like a pacifist, like I want to be like calm and peaceful and like let's just talk it out. The problem is that there are people in the world that are not reasonable. And so if you're a person who is peaceful and all you do is help others, right? There's always going to be that one person that is going to take advantage of you for that. And if you have no way to defend yourself, if you have no like self, like if you can't tell them no, if you can't stand up for yourself, you know, they're just going to take you for everything that you've got. And so you like,
Exactly.
as much as you want to be that kind, loving, like hand reaching out to help someone, you got to be ready to fight in case something's going to bite it, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
I know you guys.
which it sucks, but
I know you guys have not seen like longer than 3 seconds of Star Trek ever, but that's no fault to you guys. We'll watch something at some point, but there's an episode of the original series where I'm giving an example of like a leader having to be passionate while also risking being ruthless. So Kirk goes to a society on some planet where there is a war that's been going on for several hundred years. And after the war went on for long enough, the war became completely digital in order to stop like property damage and stop like bombings and stuff. So the way that it worked is if a digital bomb was dropped on a specific location, all the people that were hit had to walk into a disintegrator. That way there was
what?
I'm serious. That way no buildings were destroyed, but there was loss of life. But the problem with this idea is that when there was nothing being destroyed and everyone in the society after getting hit had to voluntarily walk into a disintegrator, there was no drive for the war to end. So here comes Captain Kirk and the Enterprise. The Enterprise gets bombed by the war, and they all are being told they have to come onto the planet and disintegrate themselves. Kirk goes in, ends the war by refusing to disintegrate themselves, which ends the digital war treaty, and he said that you guys can either like have a real war, or I can imagine right now that the other side is just as terrified as you are by ending this treaty, and they would be just as willing to negotiate peace as you probably are right now.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy. They're like, we don't want property damage, but people can. We'll just disintegrate them. It's fine.
Yeah,
Like, what?
but
That's crazy.
in that episode, Kirk risked starting like an actual war based on like what you would expect somebody to be thinking. Because just by how terrified this one side of the war was, he was hoping that the other side would also be terrified and be willing to negotiate peace, which they were, if I remember correctly. So in order to be like a competent leader, you need to be able to be passionate while also being ruthless at the same time. Because he basically ruined their entire way of war that they've been going about for the past few hundred years.
That is literally the stupidest like war concept I've ever heard. Like, imagine America being like, "Listen, all y'all just got
Yeah.
bombed, so you got to go kill yourselves now." Like, that's literally like a step away from like Holocaust, basically. Like, what the hell is that?
I would be down to watch that episode with you guys at some point on this podcast. Like, there are a lot of episodes of the original series that are just really high concept, philosophical debacles like that. And it's interesting. But I know this is a massive leap from what we were originally talking about. We were talking about, like, going to bed at the right time, and then, like, being able to be compassionate rather than, like, ruthless in order to, but being too passionate can result in people taking advantage of it, and like you have to be both passionate and ruthless. Is that how we got to where we are?
Something like that, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's take it back somewhere else. I don't know what to talk about now.
Take it back somewhere else.
Are we sure?
Well,
are we sure about the wave?
I I mean, I feel like it's pretty much that. I mean, of all the names that we came up with, that's the one that you feel like pops out the most, and I'm fine with that one. I think it's good. I don't have any objections.
Because I feel
I don't know if the name's really that important for me.
the wave rolls off the tongue. It feels great to say, and I like it. How about you?
Sam, do the research. Is there any podcast named The Wave?
I did already do the research, and there are ones that it looks like there may be one or two that's the wave or like the waves, but I think they're like surfing podcasts or something probably.
It's ironic. We're probably never going to talk about surfing.
We might. Ryan's a surfer dude.
I'm a surfer, bro.
I still remember Sam and I were sitting on a beach watching Ryan out in the water. We were like, so when is he gonna hit his big wave? And you were out there for like 30 minutes and then you swam back.
Dude, that was cold, man. I remember I was sitting in there and it was pretty cold, and like the waves that were coming in that day. Well, I think I went to go ride one and I fell off. It was like one of my first or second waves. And it like rolled me like for pretty long, and I almost like low key drowned. So I was just kind of like sitting there like, whoa, all right.
That was not the wave.
Yeah, that was not.
Should not have taken that one.
Yeah, that one was bad, but
Yeah.
that's all right. I'm gonna get out there a lot more this summer, and like actually like get like good at like just surfing, because like I feel like I haven't been in a while, like with school and working so much. Like I feel like I probably suck ass now. Like
Well,
I disagree.
I used to be.
I feel like when you learn a skill like that, it just kind of sticks with you.
That's true. Like I'll pick it up quick. It's just like I want to be like doing it consecutively, so like I experience like more time being out there. You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like so it took you a little bit of time to learn how to ride a unicycle, and you've been out of it for like a year and a half. I'm sure I could hand it to you and you would pick it up first try, just because you
Oh, yeah.
you know. Yeah, exactly. But like Ryan,
I don't know if you got that, but he was kidding.
but Ryan, like you know how to do it, but it's been a while. I still think you
I
could pick it
probably
up just because like you'll pick it up and remember like all the motions unconsciously.
No, yeah, because once you learn it, it's muscle memory.
Yeah,
You're not really,
I haven't like gone surfing as much as you have, but the last time that I went surfing was like I think last summer. And I went out and I was like I got up on waves, like it's like you kind of you know how to do it, like he said, so like I think you'll be fine. Whether like getting like good at like doing like riding a wave is easy. It's like doing the tricks and stuff that's like the harder part.
I don't want to do like crazy tricks though. Like I just want to like ride it, you know, be able to cut back, go, you know.
Yeah, but like cutting back and forth I would consider like a trick.
Yeah.
Because like just getting on the wave and letting it like push you on the board, like that's not that
I wanna,
that's
like
not
go
difficult.
sideways and stuff. Like sideways, like going with the wave is cool.
Yeah. Have you
I
guys
feel like that's a little bit like extra.
have you guys heard of
Um,
kiteboarding?
Yes.
It looks like
I've
one
seen
of
it.
the craziest things ever.
I think it's like a workout, man. You gotta like hold
It does look it looks like a serious workout to like
serious workout.
be like pulling with your arms and stuff.
Imagine
Yeah.
like just falling. That's like restart.
Imagine you just jump off and you just lose your kite.
Well, if you're not holding on to it, I think your kite just kind of
It's
falls.
attached to your back. Like it's like completely on you. Like you're not losing your kite.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
not. Yeah, there's like a hook that like it hooks onto you, but I think you can decouple if like an emergency happens and you're flying away. But like if you know what you're doing, like you can kind of like guide it so that it'll like
No, you
head
should.
down and you don't catch as much air. Because I feel like I've seen some people like on the Jersey Shore doing it, and they'll like go up and they'll like literally get like 10 feet of air just riding on like the wind.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, but it does look like it's a serious workout.
Definitely would try.
I will try it just to say that I did. I tried windsurfing and I hated every second of it, but I
I
tried it.
remember that. I remember that we like had the jet skis, and you were just
And
like
that's what we
out on
went
the board, sitting there while like your dad was like trying to like cut back in the wind, but it was just not working with you guys. Like we had to come and save you,
Yeah,
and then it was like this sucked.
yeah. It was not fun, but I at least
And
like
he
I
saved me.
remember
was
that
the
day.
That was the day like we went out and we like took photos, and it was like we went out to the ocean.
Yeah, that
Like,
was a
you-
major L on like
Yeah, you
you
should have
not
went.
going with us on that one. Like that was an unfortunate because like that was we went like out into the ocean. Like that was pretty cool. Like we actually
Yeah.
went out on the jet skis into the ocean a little bit. Pretty crazy.
I wish that I was with you guys,
Well,
but
like,
at the same
jump in
time,
it.
I'm glad that I did windsurfing and I know it's not for me.
Yeah.
Because like now I don't have to do it ever again.
Never again shall I do. Oh, I feel like you had a bad experience with it as well, which
It was a windy day, so I feel like that was.
you guys couldn't get back though.
Did you guys have to like help my dad get back?
I'm pretty sure we like towed him back.
Hmm. Because if I remember correctly, I think he had his own jet ski, and I just kind of waited at that point with the windsurfer. But
And maybe you went a different day, but I'm pretty sure one day we had to go and like rescue your dad.
no, that was the
And
only
I'm pretty
day.
sure you were there.
You definitely had to save him when he couldn't like turn around on the windsurfer, but I think he just rode back on the other wave runner, and I just waited with the windsurfer there until he like, got around with the car.
Probably. That's why you couldn't you were like waiting for your dad to come back to like to load the stuff. That's why you didn't go with us. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
because
sure.
I had to stick with the stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ryan, what'd you say?
You didn't say anything. You just did hand motions.
I was like, well,
How long have we been talking for?
decent bit.
I don't quite know, but if I were to check, it would ruin our visual.
It's 1 p.m. now.
Well, that's my thing. I was gonna say I kind of like gotta start getting ready for work.
All right, so are like the podcast is called The Wave.
We
I'm
can run it by Xavier and see. We're not gonna make anything final.
I would say that we've narrowed it down.
or Sam.
Yeah.
So-
Or Sam, can you like redo your camera? It just went out for me.
Redo
Or like
your
like
camera.
turn it off and turn it back on. There we go.
The color is so much better now.
Yeah, what the heck?
I should have done this from the start.
I'm so mad.
Yeah.
It's a character development moment. We have the name now, so your camera can be fully vibrant. All right. Did Sam mute himself?
Yeah, my dad's talking to me.
Does your microphone mute when you do that?
Mhm.
That's cool. What the heck?
Yeah, it's for gaming, so it's like when I'm pissed off, I just
Ah!
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So we are the wave, I guess. So I guess I'll do like the first welcome. So welcome, guys, to the Wave Podcast. All right, that's the end of this episode. All right.
Yeah.
We'll
Good
see you
chats.
guys at some point. I don't know when we're gonna do the next one. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, could be a month from now. But I want these to be somewhat regular just because I enjoy talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
But I'll bring it to a close. Later, guys. See you in the next episode.
Later.
Peace.
Yeah.